Hello, everybody. As I believe most of you know, uh, Senate Bill 5078, the bill that vilifies federal firearms licensees, was before the Judiciary Committee, House Judiciary Committee. There were 2,000 people who were supposedly 2,000 people signed in against the bill and 1,000 people signed in for the bill. Unfortunately, the committee did not hear all the testimony that was uh, available to them. And much to my disappointment, I didn't get to give my testimony either. So I thought, just for fun, I would give it to all you now, and at least you can hear it. uh, you know what's involved in becoming a federal firearms licensee? I'll bet most of you don't. There are many forms which are reviewed by many employees of the ATF. There are background checks with all people associated with the FFL. The application is then forwarded to the local field office where an in-person interview is conducted. A report is made by the field office after compliance with all state and local laws are confirmed. This whole process takes about 60 days. Yet, in spite of all the careful vetting by the ATF, the legislature wants to pretend that FFLs are the cause of crime. Quoting from the bill, the legislature finds that the irresponsible, dangerous, and unlawful business practices by firearms industry members contributes to the illegal use of firearms. Yet, can the legislature find even one example of wrongdoing by an FFL? No, not one. The section continues with the phrase, public health crisis of gun violence. Now, there's a lot to unpack there, but I want to focus on the term gun violence. In fact, there is no such thing as gun violence. There is only criminal violence. And why are there so many criminals on the street? Because you, the legislature, have enacted early release laws and lenient sentences. The state with the weakest gun control laws is Maine, which is also the state with the lowest violent crime. Almost all guns which are used in crimes are stolen guns. Don't punish the law abiding, punish the criminals. Vote no on SSB 5078. So there you have it. That's what I had intended to say. Unfortunately, I didn't get to say it, but there was some good testimony in the opposition and in the con section. The testimony in the pro section was purely rhetorical fluff. There was testimony from a woman who was the mother of a person who was shot and killed in CHOP, and yet she blamed the gun. She did not blame Inslee for not taking action in CHOP. She didn't blame Jenny Durkin for allowing CHOP to function and be lawless for a month. And she didn't even hold any accountability for her son, who was admittedly part of a drug deal. She had no accountability for herself. Now, I understand that we live in a state where, with the erosion of parental rights, it becomes hard to hold a parent accountable. But if you have a child that is given over to gang activity and drugs and violence, I think there has to be some raising issues that a parent should accept certain, if not legal liability, certainly some moral liability. Okay, I encourage you to go to TVW and listen to the whole testimony there. I did want to comment that at least 3 reps, I think, did a good job in questioning the pro people, and that would be Skylar Rude, Jenny Graham, and Jim Walsh. So I want to recognize that they did their job well today. And I'm sure this will be before at least 2 more committees. So I encourage everybody to be active on this bill. Again, the number is 5078. It's SSB, which is Substitute Senate Bill 5078. Also, keep your eyes open for House Bill 1143, which is the requires a $200 permit for the privilege of buying an arm, which, of course, that's a privilege to exercise a constitutional right. Intentional oxymoron there, privilege and right. Also, keep your eye out for House Bill 1240, which is it calls itself the assault weapons ban, but that's a dramatic term. What it really is it's a ban on all semi-automatic rifles, and ultimately its language is set up so that it will soon be it will morph by next session into, if it passes, it will morph into a ban on all semi-automatic weapons, including things like 1911s, PPKs, and so on and so forth. Of course, the next step beyond that is a ban on all firearms altogether. So that's where that's going. Keep an eye out for those. As far as I know, they haven't gotten scheduled to a committee yet. I did want to mention one other thing. I think I've mentioned this before. There's 3 lawsuits out of California. Miller versus Bonta, Duncan versus Bonta, and I don't remember the third one. One of them's a high capacity mag ban. One of them is a quote unquote assault weapons ban, and I don't remember what the third one is because I can't even remember the name of it. They have all been held as unconstitutional at the district court, and that was before the Bruen decision. They've now been sent back to the court to say reevaluate them in the context of Bruen, which means they were unconstitutional before Bruen. They're certainly unconstitutional after Bruen. So anyway, have a good day and carry on.